you. Alrighty. Meanwhile, we wait for. Yeah, I think we should kickstart this swag. Finally, once again, Discord swag. Haven't been here in a minute. Touching grass with our community. This time around, very excited. Kickstarting a new initiative with the community. Always exciting to do so. Today we have our very first office hours. And with that, we have as guests our amazing co-founder, Sandy Pang, and yes, Sang. We also have one of our newest colleagues, Olya Green, join us today. And no lack of introduction for Swag, the the man himself, the Discord OG here. It would be a really nice call today, very laid back. We want to bring some updates to the team, from the team, I mean, to the community, and we hope to have this call moving forward in the near future, um, aiming to bring more constant updates to the team. Um, let's see, Olya, just checking in. Can you hear me, Olya?
Andy can't hear us, and maybe Olya can't hear us either. Maybe Juan, you can take us through some of the first points for today, and meanwhile I can ping them to try and resolve their issues.
That sounds good. Let's see. Um, Alrighty. Well, so for the general updates for today that we are bringing, um, so I can touch a little bit upon the NFT Origin program. We finally launched the minting period. Started a little earlier yesterday for some of us, barely today. And it was a huge success. We have tons of mints already. It spiked increasingly very fast. Um, and this whole initiative proved to be a way to um, um, incentivize developers who tried out the thing, but we are working closely to bring more visibility and answers to all your questions. Um, I see Sandy messing around a little bit with the camera. Can you guys hear us?
Hey Juan, quick update, and this kind of sucks, but this is kind of a bug with Discord, I think, and I think we have to restart the stage for everybody to be able to hear us. Yeah, basically end this event and then go back to the stage and start a new stage.
All right, so we delete this one, start a new one. Okay, guys, everybody, we'll be right back in just a second.
Yeah, please join us on the new stage in just a minute. Sorry for the technical issues here.
Okay, before we go.
So basically, I can do it. I'll just select end stage for everyone, and then we go.
All right, can you hear me, Sag? You muted.
All right, let's try this again. Juan, Ye, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Hello. I thought it was only Twitter that rocked with people with spaces. GG's. Let's see.
Hey, Juan, are you here?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me, Swag?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you.
Cool.
Hi,
There
this is
you
Hey,
working.
go. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome.
Business, excellent.
Let's bring all you
hey,
on
awesome.
stage. Yeah, you're still muted.
I think Ye might need to like log out and log in again.
I think yeah has like connection issues. You see how it says it DTLS connecting? Okay, we have our audience back, so everything's okay. Oya, I invited you to the stage if you want to join us. I also see Ryan in there. Might bring him in a little bit later.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yay, we got you.
Okay, okay,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
Awesome, awesome.
There we go.
Alright, I think we're missing Oya, but I guess we should, now that we have the both of you and we're starting fresh again, let's get this started. Let's roll back a little bit, reset. So, hello everybody again. This is by the Kermit, and today we're going to be hosting a very new initiative called Discord Office Hours, where we aim to bring to you guys updates in a more perspectives from within the team itself. So for this round, this very first initiative, we're gonna have our founders run us through some updates from the past couple of weeks, months, and we'd love to hear more of what's going on, Sandy.
Hey, hey, hey. It's good to be here. Yeah, we're very excited to have our very first office hour. We have this kind of thing within the team on a weekly basis. And then one day we just thought, why don't we do this to the wider community? And I think we've always wanted to build a community sense of engagement and have more visibility around as the as the mainnet development process improves, and then more devs and more users are engaging with our product. We definitely want to have a bigger surface area for engaging with everybody. So we're back at what we've been doing over the last few months. Take this opportunity, also what we're planning on the ecosystem side. But before we do that, I think it's important to kind of just go back to the whole loop between academic research to productization, and then to user adoption, and then to product market fit. It's historically like a very, very long cycle. And we managed to get from academia level research to a kind of engineering ready and user facing ready product within a record amount of time. I think it's been, looking back, it's been like, I think the first paper that Ye has published was like 2 years ago. And And then we've been building in earnest for about a year and a half-ish, coming up to 2 years. And we launched our mainnet 2 months ago. This is super exciting. And then we also have a whole ton of new features and roadmap that we will share with you on this call. But I think the main exciting thing is that now we actually have real users for something we've been building for so long. Now that everyone can interact with it, engage with it, and bridge over, I certainly hope everybody on this call has tried interacting with the mainnet. I think after launching mainnet, we've been heads down. I think some of you might have noticed that we're a little bit quiet, but within the first month, we've managed to onboard vast majority of all the infra that developers need. And we've also onboarded a lot of the developer tooling that people need. And this is also an opportunity. We've been kind of gathering a lot of feedback about what's needed, and we've been kind of trying to integrate with them. The Scroll NFT program is something I wanted to talk about. It's intended as a means to engage and incentivize developers to try out the network. The main kind of selling point, so to speak, of ZK EVM product is that it's really, really compatible with Ethereum. And then the Scroll Origin NFT program is meant to demonstrate how easy it is and how smooth it is to engage with the product. I think we've also learned a lot and also heard a ton of really useful feedback that will feed into our next stage of development. And then Ye is going to talk a little bit about how we intend to address some of these feedback. The Scroll NFT program is also the Origin program is also meant to like recognize early developers, and also we wanted to do this in an permissionless way. I think one of the goals for Scroll is to be as permissionless as possible and also to be incredibly neutral. A lot of people don't really know what we mean when we say we wanted to do it that way. And so the Scroll Origin NFT is a demonstration of how we do that. Is that everyone has the opportunity to engage with and deploy a smart contract. And then if they do, then they can mint an NFT. And over 1 million wallets have deployed smart contract, which I'm pretty sure is a record number for a first month of for chain launch. Going forward, if you've missed it, there's nothing to worry about because we will have many of such programs going forward. This process has given us a ton of confidence to push forward with this type of permissionless community engagement type of events. If there's any ideas or anything you guys want to try out, feel free to let us know. One really cool thing is that somebody from the community has built inscription setup, so now you can do that. And there's now NFT marketplace, so if you were to do an inscription, there is a place to launch it. And then I'm going to talk about some of the fair launch projects that are coming on Scroll. So we've been encouraging some of our ecosystem projects to do a fair launch. Part of the reason why inscription have been so popular is because everyone is really sick of VC chains, VC projects. So we wanted to see more fair launch projects on Scroll too. So we'll be talking about what some of the projects that have committed to doing a fair launch is doing, and then hopefully you guys can interact with them and be a very early community member and be incentivized for engaging with them, hopefully. Okay, so that ties into the next stage. We're going to be doing a lot more initiative to increase engagement with users. Our community has been and always will be very important to us. And in order to kind of have a channel for more transparent communication, we will be doing this office hour every week going forward with different members of the team, sharing and also kind of listening and collecting feedback on what we've been up to. So with that in mind, I'm going to pass over the stage to Swag to talk about his recent adventures in East India.
Absolutely, and thanks for summarizing that, Sandy. I think that provides really good color and context for some of the questions that many people have asked us. But yeah, shifting focus a bit to events and DevRel, and specifically ETH India and India Blockchain Week, which took place last week and the week before that. And it has been busy. It has been very busy because we originally planned to attend this event with, I think, 7 people, and then some of them fell sick, and we had some other travel-related issues. And so ultimately, we ended up slightly understaffed, but we still managed to pull through. But it was a very intense experience, especially because builders in India are just like, I don't want to call them crazy, but they're very, very hungry to build stuff and learn stuff and hack. So that's been a really great experience. We've been there for a week. We've had some workshops and panels at Protocols Conf, and some other side events. Our lead DevRel, Daniel, has been there to attend various workshops and panels, and he gave a workshop at the ETH India Hackathon as well, which I tweeted about. If you saw it, it was packed. So lots of new developers entering the Scroll ecosystem and learning how to deploy their first smart contracts. And yeah, it's just been a really great experience. I think there was not a single minute at our booth where we haven't been busy. Like it was just nonstop talking to developers and builders in India. So that's been just amazing to see. And yeah, in terms of the hackathon, the ETH India hackathon, I think we've had 235 submissions, project submissions that hacked on Scroll, and I think we've rewarded 135 of them with our pool prize, and then we gave out 10 times $1,000 for the top 10 projects building on Scroll. So we've seen everything from new DeFi projects to machine learning and ZKML and large language models and incentivizing that through various different layers. And we've seen people use the Ethereum attestation service and Anon Atar. And we've seen people use the privacy and scaling explorations TLS Notary and use their pre-built circuits to use them in the hackathon projects. And so they could just plug it in there and input their data and get going while circuits are being generated in the background. So it's been just really cool to see people like piece together all these different parts of the tech stack and build something new and novel and learn a lot more about Scroll and about all these technologies and how they can interact and fit together. So it's been a great experience at ETH India, and yeah, I definitely needed like a day, a calm day after that to kind of recover, especially because I think there's been either like a flu or cold or even COVID going around at the event. So yeah, it's been very busy, but it's been a great experience. I really liked it. I really liked the enthusiasm of the Indian community in Bangalore specifically. So if there's any Indian people watching us today, you guys rock. And yeah, that's my report from ETH India, and passing it back to you, Juan.
Even I was there, in spirit, moral support. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did. This is really funny, but I did join the judging session with Ahmed, our other Debro, and we didn't. It was like 11 p.m. for us, and we didn't want to stay home, so we went to a dentist to have some food. And while we were judging, it was fun. It was fun. We stayed there until like 2 a.m. Helping judge, and that was 252 projects. So it's a few more than you mentioned, which is really intense. A lot of projects that we went through, which is great. Great. A lot of interaction with Scroll. All right, I guess I want to also add into this, since we're talking a little bit about events here. I want to share a little bit of what's going on with some community meetups that we hosted. We launched a community meetup initiative a couple of weeks ago, with the idea or the intent for more communities around the world to um, host their own activities. And uh, currently, we had the LATAM region host the first batch of meetups, and I must say that I'm really excited for the progress and the effort done by the local communities around in Latin America. We had meetups hosted in Argentina, Brazil, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico. So a lot of countries in the region hosted their own local meetups around, in coalition with the Scroll ecosystem, and that's just extremely exciting. We'll be dropping a thread to recap all these meetups so you can connect with these communities if you're from the LATAM region. And for the other regions of the world, be constantly looking out for opportunities to host these meetups. We're gonna be releasing a more elaborate program in the near future, and we hope that you are able to be part of one of these amazing activities. Um, and before we close out the event section, Sandy, tell us a little bit of the amazing Scroll Up Japan event.
Yeah, no, more than happy to. So I think we wanted to try out a mini event pop-up format, and we did our first one in Japan, and we did it in a co-work space called Crypto Cog in Shinjuku, which is the coolest and the busiest area in Japan. And about 50 developers showed up. Raza and I did a quick intro of Scroll, and Raza did a demonstration of certain cool things to hack on Scroll. I think he did a kind of a Noir implementation that was really cool, and we had lots of people try building things on Scroll in that mini pop-up event. I think our plan is to take this event format all over the world. We'll probably start with cities and places where scrollers are located, and then we will extend it to the wider community, and anyone can apply to host one of these events. I think we've kind of built Scroll intentionally to be very international for the very purpose of being able to host these hyper localized events and meet developers where they're at. One stat that we're very incredibly proud of is that scrollers currently are living in 30 plus different cities. And this is, you know, we're bearing with the cost of coordination across different time zones, but the upside is that we get to be able to host these events in different languages, in different locales, and do quite a lot of these things simultaneously in a hyper local way. And the last thing I wanted to highlight about our ecosystem is that we've just passed the technical assessment for Aave. And that means Aave is coming to Scroll very, very soon. And I'm personally going to be super excited about using it and doing a lot of the big and boring activities that I do. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy doing that too. So with that in mind, I want to pass it back to Ye to talk about our technical roadmap in the immediate future.
Hi everyone. I think before I talk about some kind of technical future, I think one thing which I want to quickly mention, I reply in the chat, is that we do notice there are some kind of fee issues related to MetaMask display. I think we already submit the pull request to MetaMask team like 1 month ago. So still pending for them to kind of merge, and so we are already fixing on that, and we will push on that to kind of reduce this problem related to this display problem. So we are already working on that. So yeah, that's a big question like we receive from community, and we will do that as soon as possible. And as for some other parts related to reducing the fees, I think we are working on 2 parts. One is that we are working on some smart contract optimization, which can reduce the bridging fee, like deposit to scroll fee, become half of what we previously have. Because the reason why it's a bit expensive is that we do a lot of implement a lot of actual modules to make sure that the bridge is ultra secure, and that takes some kind of computation, and which makes that a bit more expensive. And we are kind of assessing the new version, and then that will significantly bring down the bridging cost. And second, related to the transaction fee, like for sending interacting with applications and other transactions on Scroll, while working on something called data compression. So which basically, the high level context is that when you're sending a transaction on rollup, the majority of fees come from data, because we are posting data on Ethereum to maintain the same security. So it's basically transacting on Scroll, you need to post maybe some amount of data on chain. Now it's massively reduced, so the fee will be reduced to half or even more. So we are actually working on that. It will be done in the next upgrade, because the reason why we didn't want to do that very aggressively, because it's very scary for a chain or protocol to upgrade very frequently, because yeah, we want to keep some kind of frequency for the upgrade we made to the chain. To make that as stable as possible and make sure that every upgrade will be fully audited. We contract with the best like Open Zeppelin and all those great secure auditing team to make sure that, because security has always been our like first principle, like everything we do, like we need to consider security. Yeah, that's for this fee reduction. Like TLDR is that you will see like the fees on scroll like being reduced dramatically in the next upgrade. Like the bridging fee, the transaction fee, and the MetaMask display problem will be solved. And some other things we are still working on the improving the compatibility. I think we already finished the implementation for supporting 1559 transaction type and SHA-256 opcode. So we are the only ZK EVM that can support like EC pairing precompile, support those hash precompile, and probably also the first ZK rollup that support 1559 transaction type, which makes that even more compatible with all the kind of like existing things that DCM has. And we are the first one, the only one, like that is even closer to that. And another thing is we are, again, like we go back to a security topic. We are working on some security approach. We are working with some external team to implement the second approver for our network, because a lot of people are like have a concern for, okay, what if they even had some bug, and we are having another orthogonal proof system to kind of minimize the risk, to massively improve our security. That's already been implemented. And so yeah, so it's like we will be the first one to have a complete multi-prover in our system, and it's already implemented. The second prover has already improved all the testnet blocks on our Sepolia, but still just waiting for integration into our mainnet. But we are working on like all different way to make scroll as secure as possible. Yeah, that's something like which we are working on. Like the first one to really have a fully featured multi-prover. And as for some other research part, we are still working on decentralization and building the next generation ZK EVM. So I think our roadmap is still like we want to decentralize prover first, and then like decentralize sequencer, because we want to start like maybe allowing people to run improvers and build some network effect from there. So that's still ongoing research, and we will have something posted. We already have some. We start implementing some smaller demos for different different protocols. But again, like we want to do this decentralization in a very programmatic way, because we do realize that it's like security is very important, and then like you do more stuff like step by step. And also like decentralizing our governance by having a security council. We are working on that. The contract is ready, but it's just like pending for like some other like operational process. And for on the ZK side, we start with like collaborating with the PSE team from ECN Foundation to build ZKVM together, and now we are exploring together around like some new proof system to make ZKVM even faster. Like I think I shared like some of our progress, some of our directions for working on a new GKR based like KVM to make that we hopefully that can make the KVM become like 10 times even faster to achieve even more ambitious goal with a shorter latency. And yeah, so our ZK team has been keep working on that. Yeah, that's for the technical stuff. Like TLDR is that we are working on making the chain, the deposit cheaper, and solving the issues and improving the compatibility, and adding more things to make our chain even more secure, and working on a lot of like interesting research directions. Yeah, that's for tech side.
Great, thank you. Yeah, really appreciate those updates. And as it may be a little bit convoluted for everyone to grasp that from a community call, we're going to be drafting some of these answers and probably an announcement based on these. I think we're overdue for like an update on terms of what's going on with the gas. So I'm going to prepare with Swag an announcement with all this insight, which will be useful for the community. Let's round up some of the updates with some of our ecosystem stuff. Sandy, want to tell us a little bit more about the big news with the Avid team and the rest of the ecosystem?
Yeah, I wanted to highlight some of the fair launch projects in our ecosystem. I think anyone who try to bootstrap a project knows how difficult it is to build and launch and also engage without any like funding. That is a behemoth effort. Everything becomes, it forces the entrepreneur to be a lot more scrappy, and it forces them to be a lot more resourceful. And in return, they get, it forces them to be a lot more innovative and a little bit more like nifty with their resources and the way they do things. But the plus side of being able to do a fair launch project in the crypto sphere is that you're able to use incentive mechanisms to engage with the community and to kind of bootstrap through the sense of like ownership and incentive alignment. So I wanted to give a shout out to 3 community projects that have committed to doing a fair launch, and I want you guys to give them all a little bit of love and interact with them because they have committed to doing a fair launch, and that means definitely incentivizing early users and early kind of stakers and engagements. So the first one is Cog Finance, which I'm gonna pass to Swag to talk about, and then I'm gonna talk about the second two.
Hey, yeah. So just want to say a few words about Cog. It's one of the projects that I'm most excited about. Basically, the TLDR there is Cog Finance is a lending borrowing protocol with isolated lending borrowing pools, and they're also now working on permissionless pools. So think of it like similar to Aave, you can create a pool for your favorite token, and then you can lend it or you can borrow against it. And the reason why this is really exciting is because this basically enables a lot of capital efficiency and liquidity for even small cap tokens, right? So if you create like a meme coin on Scroll or like a smaller project and it has a token associated with it, then anybody can open a pool for that, and then suddenly you can basically go long or short or it. You can lend against it, borrow against it, right? And that opens up a whole new kind of like tail end for like smaller tokens and smaller caps. So I think that's really in line with what we're trying to do at Scroll as well, which is to enable community members to create new projects very easily and with some support. And this is like a technical basically a technical infrastructure kind of thing where it enables you to create a new project, have a token for it, and then immediately have access to some DeFi functionality for it. So yeah, I like the project. I think the team is great. And as Sandy mentioned, they're doing a fair launch, so there's not going to be, as far as I know, there's not going to be any VCs involved there. Instead, the community and the users are going to be um, yeah, I think rewarded for being early and for being supportive and for using it and providing liquidity and creating pools and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for something cool and new in DeFi that has actual new functionality that you haven't seen on any other chain before, I would recommend checking out Cog and taking a look at them, see what they're up to. It's a solid team and they do a really nice, cool new DeFi primitive. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about Cog. And back to you, Sandy.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so Cog has recently reached 2 million TVL completely organically, and I couldn't be more excited about what they do next. The next project I want to talk about is a project called Symmetry. So it's Symmetry.trade. It's a next generation decentralized derivative exchange built on Scroll. The great thing about Symmetry is that I think it has a really, really simple and beautiful UX. I think the derivative use case in a permissionless way is so important. If you take away anything from the last cycle, is that obviously centralized exchanges offer a really beautiful derivative trading experience. But if we can have that level of UI UX in a permissionless way, where where you're not dependent on anyone for the security of your funds, then that makes it like just so much better and much safer to trade and interact on chain. And Symmetry started with some very large cap tokens, so Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is kind of what's leading this bull run and gathering momentum right now. And I think that they have some really cool design features that kind of makes the splittage very optimized. And I think they're about to start a, I don't know if they started, they're about to start the liquidity kind of like stake and earn program where you earn like up to 70% of the trading fees if you become a passive LP. And obviously the main use case is that you can trade right now with very high capital efficiency, and you can use different assets as collateral. So currently it's supporting Bitcoin and ETH, but in the future it looks like they're about to support more. So if you go on the Symmetry.trade website, honestly, I think the UX is one of the most simple and elegant UXs I've seen for a while. So, and who doesn't want to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum? So, I would highly encourage you guys to give it a go. And then the second project I wanted to give a shout out to, they've also recently committed to doing a fair launch. So, as a sign to the community, anyone that commits to doing fair launch will get a shout out from us on these community calls. So, think about doing a fair launch for your project. The Rolly Finance is the first perp dex on Scroll, and it's also a native perp dex. It kind of offers leverage trading and prediction markets for forex, commodities, and RWA, and they've also committed to doing an airdrop in a completely obviously in a fair launch way, and they've just started doing some kind of calls, and I believe they're going to be on the Scroll Twitter space soon to talk about their new the product launch. So they have a bunch of new features that they've designed, mainly about offering different types of assets and bringing it on chain. So not many perps can do like RWA type of trading experiences in a way that is very smooth, and the assets are usually fragmented, and there's a bunch of other problems about kind of just the entire trading flow. So yeah, so and it seems like they're very active in growing the community, and I think they're about to finish their audit, so it's also actually all three projects are audited. So hopefully you guys are excited, as excited as me about playing with some of these projects. Lastly, I wanted to talk about a, a thing. It's kind of like a call to action. So one of Scroll's NPC, it has been super popular. I don't know if you guys remember the project called My Attention at Sam SPF. Actually, the week Caroline took the stand, which in theory is like more exciting and more juicy. That was the week when they launched this GPT negotiation game on chain. So it takes this FOMO 3D format where anybody can enter the rain by taking on by negotiating against this Sam Bankman-Fried character for salary, and whoever wins the highest salary wins a global pot. And so the team wants to kind of open source the entire game and have more community members take it, use cases. So this is a call to action. Anyone that wants to, I would highly encourage you to get in touch with the team directly or get in touch with our DevRel team on Discord. So we want to help you set us up and operate different types of games. So that's all the community highlights. Every week we will talk about three or more of our favorite projects, so that you guys can have fun things to play with. And also, if you're looking for things to do, as in like work-wise, if you want to like hack on something, we also want to highlight like a fun project to hack on. Juan, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandy. So that's it for the updates for this very first office hours. By the way, this is all being recorded on YouTube, and it will be for all the other editions as well. So if you want to catch up on some updates, hear what the team has to say and some of our opinions, go ahead and jump on YouTube and go back on the recording. So Swag, are you around still? Are you surviving?
I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Thought you were drowning. Okay. Um, cool. So to round this off, let's go answer some of the common questions being asked around for now. You want to take this away?
Absolutely. So one question that keeps popping up in the chat is about the Origins NFT and a deadline to mint it. As far as I'm aware, and anybody else who's on this call, please feel free to correct me. As far as I'm aware, there's no deadline right now. We might uh, create a deadline in the future, but if we decide to do so, we will announce that ahead of time so you have enough time to mint your NFT. So right now, I think no deadline. But we might implement one in the future, but we will communicate that if we decide to do so. There's some other questions. Let me see. So I've seen someone on Discord ask about having deployed a contract in November, but they can't mint the NFT because they get some kind of error message relating to the RPC, I think. So if you have any issues, go to the Scroll Origins support channel on Discord. We've created that. If you have any issues, post them in there. We are aware of like 2 or 3 minor issues, and we are working to fix them or may have already fixed them. So I think we're aware of like most of the smaller issues relating to that, and we're working through them so that everybody can mint their NFTs. And if you have any other issues, post them in the Origins support channel on Discord that we set up.
I want
The
to
second
jump in there,
question is,
so I want
oh
to
yeah,
jump in there, so I just want to give some visibility as well. We are tracking these issues proactively, and we're looking into them. The plan is to come back to users with who we identified there are bugs with, and help you guys resolve it. So just for visibility, we are tracking those issues.
got it, perfect. All right. Another question we were asked is, what are the benefits of this like Origins NFT program? Is it just something temporary, or do we have more plans for it? I think based on the success we've seen with it, we are definitely going to do more like this, whether that means extending the functionality of these NFTs or doing something with them or doing a new program. We haven't decided on that yet, but we definitely have plans to further engage with our developer community and users. So this is not the last that you can expect from this kind of engagement on Scroll. So keep your eyes peeled for more news on that front. Another question that people asked is, how do we eliminate Sybils? So like people that deploy contracts with like 10 different wallets and then grab 10 different NFTs. I think for this initiative, this isn't a big deal because the NFTs are soul bound, so you can't sell them even if you wanted to. And so, yeah, it's not a big issue for this initiative. And also, we just wanted this to be as permissionless as possible, so that nobody has to deal with anything else. You just deploy a smart contract on Scroll, and you get recognized for doing that in the early days of our mainnet. So in the future, we might do something different, but that depends on what kind of initiative that would be.
It will be exciting to see something like Supass come on board to some of these initiatives. I know that Ahmed is speaking closely to the team and looking forward to bring stuff like Supass and attestations to Scroll to play around with this sort of thing as well.
Definitely. I mean, there's many different things we can use, right? We can use Supass, we can use Gitcoin Passport, we can use Ethereum attestation service. There's many great projects that can be helpful there. So we will definitely keep that in mind and consider that for any future initiatives. Um, Somebody else asked, will it be possible to transfer assets directly from exchanges to the Scroll network in the near future? And the answer is yes. I can't give you like any details or specifics, but definitely that is something we're looking into to enable direct deposits from, major sexes directly to Scroll, so you don't have to use any bridge and you can just get on with your life basically. So yes, we're looking into that, and hopefully we will have some news to share on that front soon. Um, and yeah, what else do we have? Somebody's asking about testnet participants and getting rewarded for that. I don't think we do that right now. Um, yeah, I think if you wanted to get something like in a shiny NFT, then the Origins program would be your best bet. So if you've done that, congrats. If you haven't gotten anything yet, then just keep your eyes open for any future initiatives we do and make sure to do them. Um, Cool. Let me scroll through the chat for like a minute here and see
While
if
you
there's
do
any.
that, I also want to bring visibility to an issue that was reported yesterday as well. Once we launched the earlier yesterday, when we launched the NFT Origin Mint, which was an issue regarding a project from the ecosystem that developed a front end platform to check eligibility. We did notice that the platform didn't have the correct timeline for the smart contract deployment, which meant that it was basically misleading in terms of eligibility. And we're coming back that the team has acknowledged this and they have dropped down the front end. So for anyone else who has this issue, we have come back to you and let you know that this was a third party misunderstanding. But in general, we're working hard to bring clarity to all of the NFT minting uh, details. Um,
So I have one other question in the chat, and somebody's asking if there are any POAPs